Hello guys, and welcome back to Reading Club. Today I'm going to read you Dirty Bertie, Burp, the third story, Walkies. Chapter 1. Dog training classes. Bertie stared at his mum in horror. Yes, no arguments please, Bertie, said Mum. But why do I have to go? Because someone has to take Whiffer. He can't go on his own. Why can't you take him? Asked Bertie. I'm far too busy. What about Dad then? Oh no, said Dad hastily. I'm really busy. Anyway, he's your dog. But he doesn't need training, protested Bertie. Mum snorted. Bertie, he barks every time the doorbell goes. And he's always climbing on the sofa, grumbled Dad. He licks food off your plate, said Mum. And last week he did a poo on Mrs. Nicely's lawn. He's a dog, said Bertie. That's what dogs do. Well, it's high time he learned to behave, said Mum firmly. And I'm told this dog trainer can work wonders. Bertie sighed. It wasn't fair. He didn't want to take Whiffer to training classes. He got quite enough classes at school. Anyway, he is trained, he argued. I've been training him for ages. Bertie, he does what he likes, said Mum. Not always, said Bertie. Sometimes he listens to me. Mum gave him one of her looks. Whiffer was dozing on his cushion in the corner. Bertie turned to him and pointed. Stay, Whiffer, he ordered. Stay. Whiffer opened one eye lazily, then went on dozing. See, said Bertie, like I said, he does what I say. Mum folded her arms. Very funny. You are taking him to classes, and that is the end of it. The following Friday evening, Dad drove Bertie and Whiffer to the leisure centre. In the big hall, dogs of all shapes and sizes waited with their owners. Whiffer pulled out his leads and whined. He wanted to make friends. The trainer was called Miss Bowser. She had wiry hair and a face like a bad-tempered bulldog. Bertie could see why animals would obey her. Miss Bowser clapped her hands and told everyone to line up for inspection. She said, patting a red setter. Good, splendid. When she came to Whiffer, she stopped and clicked her tongue. And what have we here? My dog, said Bertie. I can see it's a dog. I mean, what is his name? He's called Whiffer. Whiffer? She barked. That's an odd name for a dog. Well, he can be pretty smelly, especially when you're watching TV, explained Bertie. Sometimes he does the one in the pond so bad you can smell it upstairs. Good gracious, said Miss Bowser, drawing back a little. I don't think he can help it, said Bertie. He would learn to help it, Miss Bowser replied grimly. In my classes, dogs do what they're told. She eyed Whiffer and raised stern fingers. Sit, she ordered. Whiffer sat. Bertie was amazed. He'd never done that for anyone before. Chapter 2. The class began. Miss Bowser handed out dog biscuits. Treats must be earned, she told the class. A naughty dog does not get a treat. Let's begin with a simple command. Teaching your dog to come when called. Bertie groaned. He tried 1,000,000 times to get Whiffer to come. The only time he came was when his dog bowl was full. Step away from your dog and turn to face them, instructed Miss Bowser. Bertie walked away from Whiffer. When he turned round, Whiffer was right behind him, wagging his tail. He could smell dog biscuits. No, Whiffer, you stay over there, said Bertie. You come when I say come, okay? Whiffer licked his hands and tried to nose in Bertie's pockets. Bertie dragged him back to his place by the collar. Now call your dogs by name, said Miss Bowser. When he comes, give him a treat. And remember, heaps and heaps of praise. Whiffer, come boy, called Bertie. Whiffer looked the other way. Come boy, come, yelled Bertie. Whiffer was the only dog in the hall who hadn't moved. The other owners cooed and fussed over their dogs, who were wolfing down their biscuits. Miss Bowser strode over to Bertie. Where is your treat? She boomed. In my pocket. No, you have to let him see it. Give it to me. Miss Bowser held out her hand with the dog biscuit. Whiffer barked and flew at her, a whirlwind of fur and legs and tongue. Miss Bowser found herself pinned to the floor with Whiffer on top of her, crunching his biscuits happily. "How did it go?" asked Mum when Bertie got home later that evening. "It was terrible," groaned Bertie, slumping into a chair. "It's worse than school." Whiffer padded over to his cushion and flopped down wearily. "Never mind," said Mum. "It's only the first lesson. I'm sure it will get better." "They haven't met Miss Bowser," said Bertie darkly. "She shouts all the time, even when she's standing right next to you. I bet she used to be in the army. I bet she got tired of shouting at soldiers all day and decided she'd get a job shouting at dogs and their owners." "As long as Whiffer does what he's told, I don't mind," said Mum. "That's just it. He doesn't," moaned Bertie. "He gets mixed up. He sits when he's meant to come, and when I say walkies, he lies down. The only thing that he's good at is stuffing himself with biscuits." Mum glanced at Whiffer, who had dozed off to sleep. "Well, there's 7 more weeks. He's bound to improve." 7? Bertie groaned. 7 more weeks of Miss Bowser shouting and Whiffer coming bottom of the class. He didn't know if he could stand it. And you didn't tell me there'd be a test," he grumbled. Whiffer's got to pass his ODD." "His what?" asked Mum. "ODD, obedient dog... ODD, obedient dog diploma... Obedient dog diploma," said Bertie. "That's what she gives you." "Good," said Mum. "With what it's costing me, I'll expect him to pass." Bertie looked doubtful. "Well," he said, "I wouldn't bet on it." Mum had an idea. "How about this?" she said. "I'll offer you a reward. If Whiffer passes, I will double your pocket money." Bertie looked up. "Really?" "Really." Bertie did a quick calculation. Double pocket money, that would be double what he usually got, which came to quite a lot. He could buy loads of things, twice the pocket money. There was just one major problem. There was more chance of Whiffer passing his driving test than his dog diploma. I'm so sorry. Chapter 3. Every week for the next 6 weeks, Bertie dragged Whiffer along to Miss Bowser's classes. Whiffer showed no signs of progress. He made friends with a boxer called Bonzo. He learned to steal biscuits from Bertie's pocket, but he didn't learn to obey. Bertie was in despair. At school, he explained the problems to Donna. Donna had a hamster and a goldfish, so she knew about pets. She suggested they take Whiffer to the park for extra lessons. "It's no use," moaned Bertie after Whiffer had gone charging off for the umpteenth time. "Let's face it, he's never going to pass." "Maybe you're just doing it wrong," said Donna. "How could I be? I'm shouting just like the dog she does." Whiffer came racing up. He found a mangled rubber ball in the grass. "Try one more time. Tell him to sit," said Donna. "Sit!" yelled Bertie. "Whiffer, sit!" Whiffer dropped the ball at Bertie's feet and barked. Bertie flopped down on the grass. Whiffer sat down too. Donna looked thoughtful. "Let's try something else. I'll go over there and you come when I call you." "Me?" said Bertie. "It's not me we're meant to be training." Donna looked at him. "Do you want my help or not?" Bertie sighed. Donna could be very bossy when she wanted to be. "Ready?" said Donna. "Okay, come." Bertie walked over to her and Whiffer trotted behind. Donna looked pleased. "Now roll over," she said. "Who?" "You, go on, do it." Feeling pretty stupid, Bertie lay down and rolled over. Whiffer barked joyfully and rolled over too. This was a great game. "See, I was right," laughed Donna. "He does whatever you do. All you have to do is get him to copy you." "Wow," said Bertie. "You're a genius." "I know," said Donna modestly. Bertie still looked worried. "But what about the test?" he asked. "He's not just rolling over. There'll be tunnels and fences and stuff." "Easy," shook Donna. "You just do it with him. Trust me, it'll work." The following Friday, Miss Bowser's class gathered from their final exam. Bertie eyed the other dogs, Bonzo the boxer, Trixie the terrier, and Dodie the Dalmatian. They had all been washed and combed for their big day. Out in the park was a doggy obstacle course. There were tiny hurdles, pools to weave through in a long blue tunnel. Miss Bowser had a clipboard and pencil at the ready to make each dog's performance. Whiffer tugged at his lead. Over to the other side of the park, he spotted some boys playing frisbee. Frisbee was his favourite game. Dodie was first to be tested. She scored top marks, 10 out of 10 with no refusals. Bertie watched Bonzo and Trixie complete the course with flying colours too. Whiffer didn't seem to be paying attention. He kept staring across the park. Finally, it was Bertie's turn. "Okay, Whiffer," he whispered, "just follow me." He set off at a run and cleared the first hurdle. Miss Bowser waved her clipboard. No, Bertie, the dog, not you." But Donna's plan was working. Whiffer copied Bertie, stepping over the hurdles and clearing the jump like a racehorse. Bertie got down on his hands and knees to crawl through the tunnel. He danced in and out of the pools as everyone watched in amazement. Almost there, suddenly a red frisbee whisked by and hit him on the head. Whiffer barked excitedly. A frisbee meant a game. Uh-oh, thought Bertie, and grabbed it before Whiffer could pounce. A boy in a football shirt ran up. "Hey, that's ours," he said. Bertie meant to throw it back, but like most frisbees, this one had a mind of its own. It took off and curved back over his head. It zoomed over the line of waiting dogs like a low-flying jet. 15 pair of eyes watched it go. 15 dogs barked and leaped in the air, straining at their leads. Whiffer saw the frisbee coming back his way. He leaped high, caught it in his mouth, and set off like a greyhound. Before you could shout, "Stay!" the other dogs were after him. "Yikes!" cried Bertie, dodging out of the way as the pack thundered past. Dogs flattened Miss Bowser's hurdles. Dogs swam like rats through the blue tunnel. Miss Bowser tried to stop them. She held up her hand like a policeman stopping the traffic. "Sit!" she yelled. Bonzo leaped at her and she vanished in the scum. Chapter 4. It took some time for all the dogs to be rounded up. The frisbee was returned to its owners, slightly chewed but at the edges. The blue tunnel had somehow got ripped, but what Bertie didn't understand was why everyone blamed him. "It wasn't my frisbee," he pointed out. "I could have been killed getting bashed on the head like that. Instead of blaming me, you should be asking if I'm all right." Miss Bowser did not seem to care if Bertie was all right. She had grass in her hair and muddy paw prints all over her skirt. She said they would get on with the awards so everyone could go home. Bertie watched gloomily as each dog and his owner went forward. He doubted if Whiffer could be getting his diploma, not after all the fuss there had been. "And finally," said Miss Bowser, "Bertie and Whiffer." Bertie trooped out to the front. Miss Bowser glared at him. "In 20 years I have never met a dog I couldn't train," she said, "until now." She lowered her voice. "However, I will give you this one on one condition, that you promise you will never, ever come to one of my classes again." "Oh, I won't," said Bertie, honestly. "Very well," said Miss Bowser, handing him a piece of paper. Bertie looked at it. "Obedient dog diploma. Class 1, awarded to Whiffer." "Wow, thanks," he said. "Look, Whiffer, you passed." 10 minutes later, Bertie ran over to the car park where his mom was waiting. "Look, Mom," he cried, "we did it! Whiffer passed!" Mom was delighted. She handed Bertie his pocket money, double his usual amount. "Well done, Bertie. And clever old Whiffer. I told you he could do it." She glanced aside behind Bertie. "Where is he, by the way?" Bertie looked around just in time to catch sight of Whiffer racing across the field. He called out to him, "Whiffer, here, boy, come!" Whiffer didn't even look back. Well, that's the end of this entire book. It was a very fun reading, and if you liked it also, please click many likes and subscribe Reading Club. Well, I'll come back later with a new and improved channel. Bye, everybody. See you later.